Hi everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Sales Chauffeur. Thanks for joining us again. The show with sales professionals helping other sales professionals by giving a little bit of their experience, hopefully help others along the way. Hopefully. We're off to lunch with Lauren Toplife today. Lauren has a background in marketing and sales, closing business, currently in business development. So I just wanted to start off, first question, having closed business in the past and now working in business development, how are you taking the skills you developed in your closing role and applying that to what you're doing today?
Well, that's a very good question, Seth.
Thank you.
I would say when I was closing business, I was doing all parts of, the sale. I was my own BDR, prospecting. I was talking to the customer. I was creating proposals. I was closing that business. So I think I use that in business development because I'm only really focusing on one small portion of what I used to do. So I'm able to focus more and I guess get opportunities further down the pipeline just with my knowledge of closing business.
So
If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. And since you've been involved in a full sales cycle, you haven't, you know where you want to get to. So
Right.
So how does that affect the initial interactions with a potential client?
I think when I was closing business, I learned to be a little bit more bold and to kind of navigate where I wanted the customer to go. So I think I use that a little bit more. I'm a little bit more bold with the customer, tell them what I'm trying to do rather than being, a little bit more timid.
Right. So asking those tough questions.
Asking the tough questions and taking control of the conversation.
Right. Wow. Makes sense. So in your marketing background, you have had, I'm sure, because I've heard there's a lot of creativity in marketing. I've known a lot of creative people that have gone into marketing.
I'm very creative.
Makes sense
Thank
then
you.
that you started out in marketing.
I did.
So how are you applying creativity, or I guess I should say, is there a place for creativity
Yes.
in business development, which can be an extremely repetitive process?
Yes, I think my marketing background gives me a huge advantage to the sales jobs that I have had because it is a grind. Every day is the same. So, if one thing's not working, you got to get a little bit creative, maybe with your subject lines, or maybe you send the customer a video, or you reach out to them on LinkedIn. You really have to change your mindset and get out of that box of just emails, calls, and voicemails, and get creative and use other avenues to reach the customer.
So in a repetitive process, then, how have you been able to find success in effectively building in almost, I guess, how do I put it, intentional creativity in a way? Does that make sense what I'm trying to ask?
I think, no, ask again.
So, you mentioned emails, calls, typical business development or individual professional will have, I do this first, then this, then this, then this, then this.
Right.
At what point have you found yourself building in those other avenues if something isn't working?
Well, when something's not working, I build them in.
Okay, so it's just
So I guess
it's more of a feel. It's not even really something that you can define.
No.
I guess that makes sense since we're talking about creativity.
I mean, I think my mind is always thinking differently, if that makes sense, because I am a creative person. So I'm always thinking of different ways to get a CIO's attention or get a meeting with someone.
Right. Have you found, since we're talking about creativity, what was the most creative thing you've done in business development to get that attention?
I made a video and introducing myself and my previous field rep, and that led to I think 3 or 4 solid meetings, and it was just me recording myself saying, hi, I'm Lauren Topliff. I'm part of this team here at BMC. I'd love to reach out to you, introduce myself, learn a little bit more about who you are, your company's initiatives, and see if there's potential to partner. Really easy, breezy, super fun, light, and people opened the video and they responded and they really liked that. It was something different than your typical email.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Well, we're about to park, so last question.
And I'm starving.
We'd like to close with, if you could look back with the experience you have now and give yourself one piece of advice when you were starting out, what would it be?
It would be, don't get too high with the highs and don't get too, low when you're having bad months. Don't celebrate a sale so much that, if you don't have any sales next month, you just plummet. Right. Stay even keel. Everything will work out. Just work hard, think creatively, and don't get too high, don't get too low.
Sound advice. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, comments below and give us your feedback. So thanks for joining us. See you next
guys.
time. Bye.
Bye.